Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I just want to talk about mindful practices while you're setting goals for 2026. I'm here in my workout room. I just thought being in my workout room would be a great place to talk about this. So how do you set good goals, and what do those goals look like, and are they real? Are they measurable? Are they right for you is key, I think, to a lot of people, because I think a lot of people set goals that aren't realistic. Maybe they're goals that aren't good for them. Maybe they're goals that aren't healthy for them. So let me just give some examples of those. Maybe you're the type of person that's very driven. I'm a very driven person. I still need goals, but I need to be careful what kind of goals I'm setting, because being a driven person, my personality type could have a tendency to burn themselves out because they're pushing themselves too hard in certain areas. So, for example, I work out. I'm a runner. I work out. I have a pretty healthy lifestyle there. I have had seasons of my life where I've set goals with working out, especially being a runner. I've done some events. I ran a 50 ultra trail run on my 50th birthday. So obviously I had to train for that and set goals for that to ensure that I kept myself healthy, that I didn't burn out, that I was doing measurable things in order to reach that. So I have had workout goals, but in general, I probably don't need to push myself in that area. I can go out at any time, run whatever I want, pretty much, not too far, but definitely I can do what I need to do, and I don't really need to plan that every year. But I do need to be mindful, and I need to think about mindful practices. I need to think about things that maybe help me transition. So for example, this year I changed careers. After being in retail as a district sales manager the majority of my life, I'm now in property management. It's a totally different career. There's a lot of transferable skill sets, but there's a lot of things that I'm learning in that. And so I need to be mindful about that. I'm trying to be more mindful about working in an office space, what that looks like, new growth and learning opportunities. And so I'm trying to be mindful this year with even setting my goals, which I haven't really totally mapped out yet, which I normally have by now. But I haven't, because I'm in transition. I'm transitioning to a new career. I'm trying something new. I'm learning a lot. And so in all of that, I just want to be mindful. So I guess maybe my goal this year is mindfulness. But maybe you're the type of person that's very driven. I can think of a few personality types that I know. Some people, I'm thinking of a particular friend of mine, very driven personality, very left brain, just very strategic out there. And that personality type, she can set some goals, but she could also burn herself out because her goals are so aggressive and so ambitious and so driven, that as a driven person, she's almost driving herself too much. And so I know we had a conversation not long ago, and I just said, maybe you need to look at other goals in order to help you learn more about your personality type. Instead of setting goals that are so driven, maybe you're going to set goals that just help you to be more mindful, learn how to, strategically give things away, how to, not be so type A driven, whatever it is, or maybe I think of, certain family members I have that have weight loss goals, and they set weight loss goals, but they don't really achieve them. And then maybe by the end of the year, they end up discouraged and disappointed. So maybe that type of personality needs to set smaller goals that are more realistic, that have more measurable things that they can celebrate on the way. And those are key things. I think a lot of people throw these things out there in 2026 about, I'm going to set these great goals, I'm going to do them, but they don't really think about how, and they don't really think about why. They're not thinking about, how will this affect my life? How will I get there? How am I going to break this down so it's measurable, but it's also something that if I don't reach that goal, how is that going to affect me? So I think a lot of people set these sort of goals or do these things without really doing some more just self-reflection before they set them. So that I think is really important. Just do some self-reflection. Think about where you're at. Think about your personality type. If you're a very unmotivated person and you don't have any goals, and you've never set goals, maybe this is your year where you're going to set maybe one goal. And maybe that's going to be a small goal that you're just going to set for a couple months, and you're going to have somebody help you get there, right? Maybe you have a friend that can help you, or maybe you can hire a coach, you can hire me, I'll help you. But maybe you can have somebody help you so that you can reach that goal, know what it feels like to reach that goal. And then that's going to help you be motivated to set other goals that are obtainable, that you're going to reach. And you want to be setting goals that are healthy, right? That are good for you. And I say that because you can set goals that seem like they're healthy, but really they're not healthy. So for example, I know a lot of people that are pretty driven again, and, maybe, they're setting goals that, will cause burnout, or setting unrealistic goals in their fitness that will have long-term effects on their body. Or maybe, they're setting goals that, aren't good for their personality type, and all those things will affect them. Or maybe they're setting unrealistic goals that are going to affect their whole family structure, that could send your whole family for a loop, because, you've decided that you're going to set this goal no matter what, and then you send your family into a spin because your goal isn't good for the rest of the family. And it hasn't been discussed with the family, or it hasn't been discussed with your husband, or your partner, or whatever it is. And so those are all important things to do, is to stop, figure out what's my personality, what's a good goal for me, what's a healthy goal for me, what's a healthy goal for where I'm at in life, what's good for my family and my situation. And all of those can be really fluid and change. And so I think that those are realistic. I also think when you set a goal, after you've been working towards that for a little bit, you might want to look at that and even change it or revise it. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to give yourself permission to change your goals or to reevaluate them. So I just wanted to leave those thoughts with you. Just, sharing some of my thoughts around goal setting, what those can look like. And I want to encourage you to set your goals, even put some of your goals in the comments and tell me, what are your goals for this year? Hopefully, this has helped you think a little bit more, and just, if you like it, please like, subscribe, and share my videos. All right. Have a great day. Take care.